I've grown multiple accounts from $1,000 to $25,000. That's 25x growth, and I've done it multiple times. In this video, I'm gonna share with you the exact 5-step system that I use to consistently grow small accounts. This system doesn't require you to risk your entire account in one trade, spend hours analyzing charts, or pray for a 10-bagger to save your account. All you have to do is follow these 5 simple rules that I'll share with you today, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much you can make if you just follow the system that I built. So I've turned $750 to over $7,500, 1K to 10K, 1K to 25K, and I've done it multiple times using this exact system. But the real question is, how can you do it too? By the time you're done watching this video, you'll have my exact small account blueprint. And I'm gonna prove it works by showing you real trades and a real trading journal from a small account using these exact rules. Let's get straight into it. And look, most traders make one fatal mistake. They think that their account size is going to dedicate whether they're a profitable trader or not, and that's not true. Let me tell you right now, if you can't grow a 1K account to 2K, you won't be able to grow a 5K account to 10K, and you won't be able to grow a 100K account to 200K. So if you think capital is a problem, it's not, it's your trading. I also think a lot of traders get discouraged and they quit trading because they think you need $25,000 a day trade, but that's just not true. All you have to do is trade with a cash account. And I'll go over all the details for that in a second. But I also want to go over some statistics. This is the average journey of a trader with a small account. You start, you get your initial win, and then you just start losing. And now this is where you're in the hole. This right here is where 99% of traders fail. This is where they give up. And but you know what the crazy part is? Most traders give up right here. Right before they're about to become profitable is when most people quit. And I think it's simply because they don't follow the system. They think they need to gamble to make their money back, but that's not true. So you don't want to be the average trader's journey. The goal is for you to start, get the initial win, euphoria, go through the learning phase, but maybe up here, and then success. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So first things first, with a small account, you want to be trading on a cash account. So on a cash account, you can trade stocks with the amount of cash you have in the account. You can't short sell, which is fine. We're not doing that anyways. You can also only lose the cash you're trading with, and it's subject to cash settlement, meaning you can't use the same funds twice in a day. But it's the best for option trading. It actually keeps you disciplined. It keeps you from blowing your account because you can't use the same cash twice. And in my opinion, it's the best. I wouldn't use margin until you have around $25,000 to $30,000. With the cash account, you can do unlimited day trades, but you're just limited on the cash that you have in your account. Margin account is when it gets scary. I wouldn't do that unless you have like 30, 25, 30K and you've proved to yourself that you could trade comfortably with that amount of money. And the thing is, you can lose more money that's in your account. And if you go under 25K, you'll get a margin call, which is basically PDT. You can use more money than you have in the account, but that's not really a good thing. Like, you shouldn't be risking more money than you put in your account. So at the end of the story, you want to use a cash account. So guys, the 5 steps that you need to take are, first things first, you need to have a cash account. Second, we're going to be going over your position sizing. Third, we're going to be going over the A+ trade you're looking for. Fourth, we're going to be looking for risk management. And fifth, you're going to be looking for your daily profit targets. So let's start with position sizing. So with position sizing, I like to do around 10 to 15% of your account per trade. And we're only taking A+ trades. I'm going to show you guys what the A+ trade checklist is right after this. But I like to put around 15% of my account per trade because the max I'm risking is about 2% of my account per trade, and my goal is to make anywhere from 4 to 5, maybe to 10% of the account, depending on if you could hold runners or not. So you're risking a little bit of your account to make a lot, and this is basically how it scales. So if you have a 1K account, you're putting $150 in a trade. 5K account, you're putting $750 per trade. 10K account, you're putting $1,500 per trade. And for example, if you have a 2K account, you're going to be putting $300 into a trade. Just 15%. You don't ever want to go way heavier on one trade or full pour, do none of that. No, you want to stay very disciplined. The second you mess up with your position sizing, everything goes to shit. Your risk management goes to shit. Your calculated risk goes to shit. Your risk reward goes to shit. Because if you take small losses on small position sizing, when you full pour and take a big loss, you're screwed. your risk to reward is screwed. So we want to stay very consistent with position sizing, and we want to scale it as the account scales. Now let's go over the A+ trade checklist. There's 5 things we look for, and first I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this right now, guys. Take a screenshot of this. This is so important. The first thing we look for is clear trend. So if we're trading calls, we want price to be above VWAP and the pre-market high. If we're trading puts, you want price to be below VWAP and the pre-market low. Second, once we get, say, a 5-minute close above pre-market high, you want to wait for a retest of pre-market high or VWAP if VWAP is over pre-market high. Then you want to have your key levels lined up. You want to make sure your risk to reward is good, meaning you're going to stop out if you have to, which I'll show you what the stop loss is. And fifth, I only like to day trade with the first hour and a half every single day. So let me show you guys an example of an A+ trade that was actually today. So Meta, as you can see, we get a 5-minute close above pre-market high in VWAP. This means it is a strong stock, and you're looking for calls on a retest. What's a retest? A retest is basically, okay, let's say this is our level. Let's say this is the stock, and let's say this is VWAP. A retest is just when you come down and you tap, you want to tap the VWAP or the pre-market high. That's the retest. You don't enter here, you want to enter here. So as you can see, what happens, we have the yellow line is VWAP. So that's the line we're looking at. I mean, I can take the EMA off my charts if you guys want, so it's cleaner. So yellow line is VWAP. What happens? We come down and we test it. This is your entry for calls. Your stop loss is if we get a 5-minute close under, which we weren't, we were good. And as you can see, you want to sell at new high a day. Your stop loss would have been a 5-minute close under. As you can see, this is the lowest you got on that candle, to stay there. So there was no reason to sell until this candle, as it was a bearish engulfing candle. But this is where we're basically taking profits, is new high a days. So right here, you're taking profits. As we rip, you're taking profits. And your entry is right when you tap this yellow line, which is VWAP. So again, let's go right here. Clear trend direction, yes, we're above pre-market high. This blue line, as you can see, I mark the pre-market high every single morning, which is from 4 a.m. to 9:30, and we're above the yellow line. So we're above pre-market high, we're above the yellow line, we're good. Next, we wait for a retest. What happens? We get the retest, we're good. And you want to enter literally right off the line. Your entry is everything. And then key level alignment, we have our pre-market high marked, we have our previous high day marked. Whenever you're going into previous high day, so right here, you always sell some. So that's why you would sell some here, and then you would sell some on this candle. You'd probably get out the rest on this bearish engulfing candle. Risk to reward was at least 1 to 2. Yes, it was 1 to 3.8. And let's just say you sold here, it was 1 to 3. Time of day, first 90 minutes. Yes, this was 35, 40 minutes into the day. So everything checks out. It's an A+ trade. We're good. Let me show you another example of an A+ trade I took for the downside this time. So we have our pre-market low. We get a 5-minute close under pre-market low, and we're under the yellow line. So what does that mean? It means we're looking for a retest. So check mark, clear trend direction. We're under VWAP, and we're under the pre-market levels. Now we wait for a retest. What happens? Right here, we tap the yellow line. This is your entry for puts. I actually took this trade and I alerted it with entry and exit. So that's going to be your entry for puts. We have our levels marked out. Yes, we do. And obviously, you're always going to want to take some sells when you approach low a day. And what ended up happening, let's show you. So that was my entry off VWAP. My target was right here, and my stop was a 5-minute close above. You can't really say exactly, but I definitely wouldn't have let it get above here. So we'll just say this was the stop, this is being very generous. I wouldn't have held it this long no matter what. So as we could see, I sold most of my position right here, and then I got out the rest on this candle because I didn't like this green candle. So I didn't catch my full risk through. I didn't catch my full target, but it's okay because I managed my risk correctly. And everything checks out, every single thing in the box. Key levels, the risk reward, about a 1 to 3. Time of day, yes, it checks out. This was 50 minutes into market open. And I also want to show you guys this really quick. Netflix, 1160 puts at 1.5. Took these 15% here, taking a trim, 20%, 40%, 50% win. And I sold it all. I learned everything with entry and exit and all these trades. Now guys, risk management is one of the most important parts of this trading strategy. If you don't have risk management in the system, you're screwed. The whole point of growing a small account is you want to add up the base hits. Everyone tries to go for home runs, but that's not how you make money in the market. You want to add up the base hits over and over and over and over again, and eventually you'll be in the position where you can get those home runs. But you just want to add up the base hits. That's how you win as a trader. But with the base hits, you can't take big losses as well. So no matter what, when you look at the trade, the first thing you're identifying is what's the risk reward, what's the stop loss, what's my risk, what's my plan, I can hold this for longer than 20 minutes, stuff like that. If the risk reward's not at least 1 to 2, I don't take it. So look at your target, look at any overhead, be like, oh, my target's gonna have to be $1 away, the risk reward is not there. And you have to have a daily loss limit. So for example, maybe on your 2K account, if you get down like, I don't know, $80 or $100, that's a lot on a 2K account. It's 5%. That's done. That's when you want to go until and make your money back. That should be your daily loss limit. So make your daily loss limit something where you can comfortably make double that in a day and like feel fine, but also something like you don't care to lose. Like you'll lose it and you won't feel any emotion. So once you hit that loss limit, you don't take any trades the rest of the day. Personally, for me anyways, like I only take like one trade every day, even when I lose. So I'll kind of show you guys like an example of a loss. Tesla, I was watching, we got a 5-minute close above pre-market high. We got a VWAP and pre-market high retest. Next candle, we dumped under and I sold when we got under with the 5-minute close. So took the loss and yeah, it's okay. Not all the trades are gonna work out. So as we could see, this trade would have been so that was the entry, that was the stop loss. This was the target, 1 to 2 risk reward trade. Didn't work out, we stopped out, and that's it. It's part of the game. I don't win every single trade, and I never will clean win every single trade. Any trader telling you that is completely full of shit. Let me show you another example of an A+ trade though. So NVIDIA, I took this trade actually, twice. We have pre-market low. What happens? We get a 5-minute close up under pre-market low. I took puts on this retest, and then I sold them as we came back down to about right here. That was my target. Then I waited for a VWAP retest. Since now VWAP is under pre-market low, we're looking for a VWAP retest. Got some puts over here, and as long as we're under the red line, this EMA, there's no reason to sell. I did sell early though, I'm not gonna lie, but general rule, if you want help holding runners, add the EMA to your chart. It didn't tell you to sell until right here. So let's do the math on what that risk reward would have done if I held it like I was supposed to. And I'm being transparent, I made a mistake here. I should have held longer. I still made a bunch of money on this trade, don't get me wrong, but it should have been a much bigger trade. Should have been about a 1 to 13 risk reward. Instead, it was, I told a new low day, about 1 to 5. So still a very good trade, but you know, if there's no reason to sell, you don't have to sell it. But again, I think you guys get the point. I only take these extremely A+ trades in the small accounts. When I do, I try and maximize on my gains, and any losses, I cut them very fast. Small losses and big wins is the name of the game. And I want to show you guys the power of compounding gains. If you have $10,000 and you make 2% of your account per day, I'm not saying you're going to win every single day, which is why it's kind of unrealistic, but like just imagine like even if you were to do 2% a week for 5 years, like you'll be at $1.4 million. Or if you get 2% a day for 1 year, $10,000 is $1.4 million over it. So the first day you're only making $200. You're making 2% of a $10,000 account. But screw that number. With $1,000, it'll be like about $140K. You make 2% per day. In the beginning, you're only making 20 bucks. But that's the power of compounding gains. I want to say this again. Your daily max risk of your account should be around 2% of the account per trade. Once you don't ever want to lose more than that per trade. Your daily target should be minimum 4 to 5%. Minimum. There should be days where it's maybe 10% because you held runners, or 15%. But it's minimum 2x the max risk. So 1 to 2 is the numbers you're looking for. Now guys, I want to show you guys an example of me trading a small account. So as you guys can see, this was 3 weeks of me trading a small account. My win rate, I took 28 winners and I took 5 losers. This was back in 2022 when I was trading small accounts, still growing up my capital. And as we could see, I took 2 trades, made 57 bucks. 2 trades, and made 200 bucks. Pretty sure this was on a $2,000 account. Yeah. So it was on a $2,000 account. Or yeah, like around $2,000 to $3,000 account that I started with 1K. 2 trades, $230, $316, $387, $400. There's not any days where I'm having crazy days. I'm just slowly adding up the base hits. $200, $300, $200, and then the base hits are all adding up. Remember when I told you guys, the more you add up base hits, you're eventually gonna be able to hit a home run? Boom, $800. Because I was adding up base hits, I was able to take a little bit of a risk. I was able to hold a trade a little bit longer. Well, this is how you grow an account. Trades like these, you take it slow. You're not taking a million trades. Even this was way too many trades, but it's because I think it was counting it as more than it actually was, because I was buying different contracts and stuff like that. But yeah, like you just wanna relax. You want to focus on the base hits, and it'll change your life, I promise. Even now, like this is a couple of years ago, obviously like 3 years ago, now I take way less trades than this. Like this is when I was taking a little more than usual, but like if, for example, this Monday I didn't trade. Tuesday I only took a swing. Today I only took a swing as well. So, I've developed a lot. But even this is like when I was, it's crazy. Like this just shows you though, look at this. This is how you grow a small account. No big days, you just slowly add up. And like also notice, like, this day I didn't take a trade because I didn't see any A+ setups. So guys, that's the system. That is how you grow a small account. Please stay disciplined. Know that just because you're not making millions of dollars now, it doesn't mean you have to do anything stupid. Please don't lose your hard-earned capital. 1K to 25K, it's not luck. It's not luck. It's system. It's a strategy. I started with $3,000 and I lost all of it. If I can build it from there to being a multi-millionaire now, then you could build from where you are. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment any questions you have. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram or anything below, learn how to trade, links are in the bio. I love you guys. Subscribe, and this is the start of my channel. I promise you guys, I'm going to put out the best content, and I have a passion for changing lives, so I'm not going to stop. Peace.